evening, late night freaks. I'm here to give Taurus an eclipse season predictions read straight from the hip with lots of lip. This is for all significant Taurus placements, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node, Mercury, Mars, Saturn, Pluto, or a significant placement in that second house. Please engage your intuition in receiving these reads. Understand that it is a collective read. I get a lot of different messages. Not every message will be for you. Tune into your own intuition to determine how the message is speaking to you and your personal situation. If you want a personal read, you can always reach out to me at broadcoven@gmail.com. Send me an email and I will get back to you shortly and get you booked. That's where you can get the most one-on-one personalized insight into your situation. When it comes to the collective reads, though, you have to understand there's a lot of people's energy being read, a lot of different stories come through. I speak to all of them, all right? And it's up to you to flip-flop roles, genders, all that stuff as you need to in your situation. You know what side you're on and you know how it's speaking to you. Don't doubt that. Okay. And we're just going to dive right into this. What we're looking at for Taurus Collective is what's in store for you throughout this eclipse season that got kicked off officially on 4/20 with that Aries double new moon solar eclipse and got amplified with the full moon in Scorpio penumbral lunar eclipse that we just had the other day. Okay, so this energy is really going to be playing out in our lives over these next months, and we will not see the actual culmination of this energy until we reach October 14th, 2023. So this energy will be in play for a while here. I already see on the board that you have some work ahead of you, Taurus. I did get some initial downloads that came in for you. So while I'm shuffling some cards and getting some cards out here on the board for you, I'm going to pull from a few different decks. I'm using my trusty Shadow and Light bicycle playing cards. I'm also going to bring in the super awesome future cards for you and the Paulina Tarot that is inspired by life in New Orleans. So New Orleans might be coming in for some of you. Some of you might be from NOLA. Some of you are thinking of relocating to NOLA, or you're going to be planning some special trip there. I have something about wanting to go during Halloween season to experience that. So this coming up on the radar for you. Maybe you'll be in New Orleans by the time that this read comes back around. Wouldn't that be funny? I'm also picking up the energy that love is definitely ahead for you. But there's also some kind of dicey terrain. You're trying to figure out how to make something work. I feel like you kind of have to make a choice. You know, you have to choose between one of two directions. There's this piece here that in order to make something work in the love department, something has to be left behind. Now, I feel like this can become kind of complicated for you as you move through this season. And I think that that's going to be in relation to an ex resurfacing, somebody you wanted to have a chance with in the past, but maybe the timing was off, or there was just something complicated about the situation that wouldn't allow it to come together the way you wanted it to. This person comes back around. This person puts a fly in the ointment. What was going smoothly suddenly is in question. You're pulled in two different directions. You're not sure what you want to do. There can be a tendency for you to get a little greedy in this situation, to want to hold on to both and maybe, you know, pull some kind of sneaky stuff in order to have a little bit more time to weigh out that decision. That's what I got, you know. I don't think that that is the best idea. I see how that could lead to a breakup. It could lead to burning a bridge. It could lead to burning a bridge that you can never cross again. So this is something to weigh out very carefully. This is something to be mindful of. It may be that this person from your past is approaching because they see that you've moved forward in some way. They see that you're leveling up in the romance department. Maybe they feel like you just kind of moved on, finally put them behind you. Now they come back around. It's sort of like to get their hooks back in. Oh, yes. And they're trying to prevent something from coming together. I get that with the way these cards were really shuffling, coming together. It's going to be very important for you to use your wisdom in this situation, Taurus. You need to remember the experiences you've had before with this person. I feel like this is really going to come in strongly for you in the fall, right before you're about to take some major action, some major step forward. It's almost like you're heading into this initiation period in the fall in relation to your love life. And there's some big step you're taking at that time. This person comes around just at that time. It's sort of to test how much you've really learned through your healing process. Did you really let that shadow go? Have you found a sense of integration with how things went down back there? Are you at peace? Have you done your release work? This person may be very sexually motivated too. We just have to look at that with the wand energy. All right, we'll get more information about that. But there's something here that you do need to be very mindful of. I also see that you may be kind of muddling over how to make this thing work. You may be trying to wrap your head around how to bring things together by going on a trip, getting some space, some distance from problems. I see you spending time by the water, like taking some kind of trip by the water, maybe taking a cruise or something along these lines. I don't know why I'm picking this up, but I'm picking up like sort of a retreat energy, wanting to kind of get away from it all and just come to a place where you can sort out your thoughts and just sort of work things out within yourself. You do have a big karmic balancing cycle ahead of you. It makes a lot of sense. We are moving up to that time. Everybody is. Yeah, I see that you are going to go on some kind of trip. I think it's somewhere by the water, and you're going to like clear your head. There's something you need to resolve. Some of you are going to be taking a trip to see someone who lives by the water, and you're going to meet up with them. Maybe you need to meet up with this person. You need to work some things out with this person. Oh my goodness, what's going on there? Yeah, somebody is having a hard time letting go of a connection. Like something wasn't completed back there. That's what I got. Like there's something incomplete in regard to an ending in a relationship, in a past relationship. I think it's a lot of that Scorpio South Node work. This is kind of clinging to you a little bit, and you know that you can't really find balance in your life, can't really move forward. I also feel like there's a part of you that knows there's a little bit of karmic cleanup work around this connection. It's sort of like something needs to be settled before you can really move forward with a clear conscience, really move forward and feel at peace with that. For some of you, this may have to do with, needing to settle something with an ex before you move forward into marriage with another, okay? Something coming out there very strongly. Let me just get a round of these cards here, and we're going to dive in and just see what these have to say. But as you can tell, I already got a lot of downloads coming in for you all. I think that you might want to go and visit this person. This person could be at a distance from you, or maybe you two are going on a trip together to drop in with each other, sort of like a last go around, like a need to kind of like drop in real deep with each other. Some of you might be taking it like other level. I got some of you might be going to some kind of like healing retreat with each other. This might actually be something really deep that you're trying to heal with a person that might actually require some kind of intervention, somebody who knows how to hold the proper space for this, even therapeutic space in some cases. There might be like some kind of healing retreat that you go to with this person, or you just drop in with each other. I'm picking up around the water, like it feels like around a natural environment, somewhere where you can just kind of like have that closure you never got to have, say what needs to be said. Maybe this is necessary before you really feel like you can move forward and feel like you have no regrets. It feels like stuff was very messy back there. Stuff was unfinished. I do feel like there's been some blockages in this situation, and there's a need to kind of prepare yourself for this communication, prepare yourself for how you're going to handle this situation when it comes around. I feel like you already have a sense that this person is going to pop up again. I think you can kind of feel their energy already tapped into you. This person may have been keeping an eye on you. You may have been keeping your eye on this person in particular online. I got that. I got that maybe somebody has blocked the other online before. Maybe there were points you both blocked each other. Maybe you took turns blocking each other. I think, I think, somebody might be in the tech field. Somebody might have the ability to override blockages. Somebody might have gained access to your account without you being aware of it. I got that. This might be somebody who knows the way around passwords, knows the way around blockages, can kind of crack the code, can gain access to your data. Oh, I don't know why I got this action, but I think somebody's been doing like deep detective work on you. Like they've wanted to know what's going on with you, or you them. Okay, you got to pick what side you're on. We have to be real when we're doing these readings, okay? Since we're reading for the collective, naturally there's going to be people in the Taurus collective that have been moving correctly, that have been in integrity, they've been keeping their side of the street swept clean, and you'll come into your place of karmic balance, and this might be a case of you stepping into your power and really showing how much you have grown, how much you have learned, how much you have overcome, how much you've come to realize your sense of worth and your value, and really standing in that Taurus North Node of Destiny energy. I mean, you are holding down that spot right now, and you are really being put to the test. You have to really uphold that ideal right now. It's very, very necessary, okay? But I feel like there's also those of you that, you've dropped the ball. And there's those of you, yeah, oh yeah, some of you have fallen into temptation. Some of you have fallen into temptation. You've aligned yourself with some sneaky kind of people. There's a lot you don't know about these people. There's a lot you don't know about their intention. For some of you, this is even kind of like, it's got like a little bit of a secret society vibe. It gives me like the feeling of like a group of people who maybe all work like with the occult arts, It's got that kind of like Illuminati, kind of vibe to it, like just a hidden group of people. It reminds me of that Robert Anton Wilson cult, are you a bunch of Discordians? I don't know. Maybe it's. I meant to say quote. I don't know. Like maybe you do. Maybe you dip into the occult. I don't know. Maybe it's got kind of almost a cult-like feel to it. Maybe there's somebody who's sort of like the ringleader, and there's some kind of hidden element here. You've aligned yourself with some kind of shady characters. I don't know. There's something that feels very like, there's some intrigue around it, some kind of secrecy. I don't know. I feel like it's people working together to like cause like dissension, to cause problems. There's sort of like this manipulative energy with whoever you're dealing with. I do feel like there's people that you're connected to. Maybe they seem like they're friends. There's snakes in the grass. This is something you need to be very aware of. This could be related around a woman in particular that you need to get a different perspective on. Maybe you need to get a little distance from this woman to kind of see her accurately. Maybe this is a woman that sees this situation accurately. Coming up as a cat lady could be somebody who's single, could be somebody who maybe has a lot of cats, could be a Leo. Could be a Leo connected to this situation. There also could be a Sagittarius connected to this situation. So we got quite a bit that came out with the super awesome future cards, all right? We're going to go ahead and dive into this right here, right now, and see what we got on the board and build the story as I brought these cards out. So we're going to start out with your opening cards, which are the bicycle playing cards, all right? First things first, there's something that just isn't going to work, okay, with the Three of Diamonds coming up in the shadow. And it's sort of like recognizing that you got to go back to the drawing board. I pick that up very strongly because right on top of that, you had the Six of Spades coming up in the light, okay? So this means you can continue to try to head in the current direction you're attempting to head in, and you're going to just keep hitting roadblock after roadblock after roadblock. You know exactly what I'm talking about, because this is a situation you've been trying to make work. You've been trying to bring this thing together for a long time. It's just been one difficulty after another. If you're having to work so hard to try to make something happen, it ain't for you. There's something that's coming through here about it's time for you really to recognize that the longer you hold on to this thing, the longer you try to force a fit, the more that you are going to keep yourself embroiled in sort of like this negative cycle where things just don't quite come together in the way that you want them to. This could particularly affect you on a financial level. This could be continuing to stay invested in a particular line of work or at a particular job, or even working with a certain group of people that just isn't in your best interest. There's cross purposes here. You can only reach a certain level of growth, and then it's like you hit the ceiling. It's like this thing has nowhere else to go. And it seems like with the three of diamonds coming up in the shadow, this isn't a situation where there's any kind of synergy. Like the people aren't all on the same page. I do feel like there's more than one person involved in this situation, and that's where the difficulties are coming in bringing things together, because everybody has a different idea about how things should come together, and everybody is running at cross purposes to each other. They have their own ideas, they have their own wants, they have their own ideas about what is the best outcome, and it's very much oriented around what works for them as an individual. So in other words, there's no team effort. There's no real desire to bring things together. It's just sort of like I'm picking up this vibe, almost like people, sort of just kind of keeping the peace with each other, or appeasing each other because they feel like they need these other people in order to get what they want. It's got like a big finessing kind of energy. It's a little bit of a user kind of vibe. I also feel like at work, things just haven't been fair for you at work. Any kind of work dynamics you're involved in right now, I think you're looking at leaving your old line of work. You want to head into a new direction. You just feel like this is going nowhere for you. You have a lot of stress around it too. There's a certain level of unpredictability just in terms of like the financial revenue coming in. I think there's been some unpredictability in your work. This might have something to do with like doing independent contractor work, or maybe you do freelance jobs or something along these lines. Maybe it used to be really flushed out. You felt like it's something that really supported you. Recently, it's brought you a little bit of financial hardship. Things have been a little bit more unpredictable. Things have been a little bit more unpredictable since everything happened in 2020 and more people started working at home out of the office. Maybe you even got kind of undercut in a situation where somebody you'd done work for a long time found somebody who could do it a lot cheaper. Doesn't necessarily mean that they can do it as good as you. But it's ended up being just this total stress for you, where there's been times where you've been worried about how you're going to keep things on an even playing field financially. A lot of times you felt like your time was being taken advantage of, or what was being asked of you required more pay, more compensation, but that wasn't forthcoming. I see you're looking to move away from this. Some of you are looking to get into a line of work that's connected to travel. You might be looking to get into the hospitality industry. This might be a direction you're looking to head in. You want like a little bit more freedom in the work that you do. Maybe you're wanting some kind of work where you could be a little bit more mobile. Some of you might be considering getting into a line of work where you could be more mobile. Maybe something where you work a festival circuit, or you do workshops on the road, or you have some kind of like food truck, or something along these lines where you can really get out and about. Maybe you want to get involved in the wine industry. You want to be involved with wine tours or something like this, or you want to lead tour groups on vacations. I'm picking up like something about travel, like wanting to have some kind of aspect of travel connected to your work, or perhaps an opportunity is going to come forward for you to bust out of your current rut career wise, head in a new direction during this period, and you're going to go for something that's like out of your current area. Maybe this requires you to make a move, or there's time you have to log on the road to get to the job. I think it's something you're very strongly considering. And I think if you move in that direction, you're going to feel fulfilled by it. It takes your stress levels way down. I think just because you're going to find that the financial reward will be better, you're also going to be in a new environment and things have gone kind of stale for you on the work front. You're needing a fresh, like, invigoration of energy, and this will give it to you. I think you'll find you're much more inspired. And it like, I don't know, it gives you something that builds like a certain momentum for you in your career life that's been missing up until now. And I think it's because it's something new, it's something fresh, and it sort of gets you out of your usual surroundings or the usual role that you play. So there's some kind of expansion here and leaving behind what doesn't work. I also feel like there's some situation you've been trying to work out that involves multiple people. None of you can get on the same page. You can try to force a fit all you want. You can't force a square peg into a round hole. It's not going to happen. It's just not. And so at some point, you have to kind of like accept that you may have your view and you may feel the way you feel about a particular situation. And for you, that's your truth. But you got other people involved in this situation and they have their own truth and it doesn't match yours. And so there's some part of this about accepting that stubbornness in this situation or pushing it or trying to like force people to see things your way is only going to create more resistance. And that actually, if you would just like let go and kind of accept that people see things differently, you can like move away from that energy. And as you move away from that energy, what you might actually be creating the space for is the space for solutions, okay? Or to get some perspective about a situation that you can't currently see. Now, let's have a look at the Paulina Tarot here. We know that you are in a very important karmic balancing time here with justice showing up at the crossroads position. Okay, so with the way this showed up too, it is showing up where it would have had to have come out of the deck in a reversed position. So this shows me that there might be some karmic debt to pay. Okay, I do feel like you got a little cleanup work to do here. Something is weighing in the karmic balance. I think if you're not clear about what this is, it will become very clear to you what is owed once you hit that point in July, where the nodes of destiny shift and Taurus, your north node retrogrades into Aries, and the south node of Scorpio retrogrades into Libra, which is represented as justice. It's a time of really balancing the scales, determining if debts have been paid or if this work needs to be done. And all of us collectively, nobody's getting picked on here, okay? All of us collectively are going to have something we need to balance out. We're in a very important cycle. It's the tail end of the Kali Yuga. We all have to do this work and nobody is immune from it. So this is something we all have to look at. I do feel like you have some karmic cleanup work. What that work is going to be very apparent to you by July. I feel like this really comes in strongly for you. In Leo season, it does look like you're a little bit in a deficit. There's something that you need to straighten out. Here. Maybe you kind of abandon the scene of, I I got abandoned the scene of a crime, but I'm not viewing it as like a crime per se. I'm seeing it more as like, some things got really messy back there, and then you just kind of like ditched it and you moved on. Meanwhile, there were other people that were affected in the situation. And it's sort of like there's a need for some upfront addressing in this situation and taking accountability of the part that you played in this. And there's sort of like you kind of just walked off and left it back there like, okay, well, we're not even going to look at that. There's something about this, like somebody is wanting to work it out. Like they're like, no, this needs to be aired out. And there's this feeling of somebody is just wanting to move away from the energy, like not wanting to address it, just hoping if enough time passes that they can avoid, dealing with it, looking at it, rectifying it. I don't think that that's going to be the case. For some of you with a 3, it is my card that I use as this significator. This is BroadCoven. This is not for everybody, okay? But for some of you who are on the path of alchemy and you do spell work, this could be like you did some kind of, working that there's a little bit of a negative backlash on. That energy comes back around, it balances out. You find it taking place in your life in some kind of reversal occurring in your life around July. Around July, I think you would see the reversal around work, around work, finances. There's some piece of this, like you might suffer some kind of financial loss, or some kind of opportunity might be blocked from you because something comes back around the bend, it bites you in the butt. Something along these lines. This could even be like if something was done illegally in connection with finances or with work, it has to be rectified at that time. There's something that you have to be held accountable for. I feel like you may be able to put this on hold, but eventually it will have to be straightened out. I feel like you don't really want to address this, whatever it is. I'm getting the impression that it's something that's been kind of swept under the rug. Yeah, we got the 2 of Swords here. Like, I feel like you've just kind of like almost been putting the blinders on, like not wanting to look at this situation, kind of protecting your energy. It's something related to disappointment with the 5 of Cups, all right? And it shows that it comes back around with the 5 of Cups in reverse, all right? There's something here, there's a pearl of wisdom that you didn't glean from this situation, and the lesson comes through in the back side of it. That's what I got. The lesson comes through in the back side of it. This could have been related to a third party situation. Maybe you were working with somebody, with the 5 of Cups, it's usually like a romantic type of situation. So there could have been somebody that you were involved with romantically, in a clandestine way. This was hidden. Maybe things really went south in this connection. People put up blocks. There's been a stalemate in this situation. I think that you know what this is and what needs to be straightened out here, because I feel like you're still feeling the heaviness of this situation. With the 5 of Cups in reverse, that means something still has a hold on you. You're not able to completely let it go. And I feel like there's something here, like you're not wanting to look at this with this 2 of Swords. Like you're not wanting to look at it. And maybe somebody blocked you in this situation and you feel frustrated because maybe you do feel like you would like to work it out. You'd like to move beyond it. You'd like to come to a place of balance and peace in this situation. But somebody is really in a place of deep grief, maybe even serious depression in relation to what happened here. And this person is not wanting to like let you in, or you're not wanting to let this person in. You have to pick what side you're on. But there's something here that it's related to something that wasn't quite right back there. I do feel like with the Justice in the crossing position and with it coming up in what would be reverse, there is some part here of this is about some work you need to do. I feel that really strongly. It's something that you need to do in this situation because it's what's crossing you, okay? It's what's crossing you. It's like if you want to move forward and have, a state of balance in your life, you're going to be held up until you address this and make it right. I got that very strongly. You got another crossing influence here. Yep, the Magician. I'm telling you, for some of you, this is related to the backhand of a spell. Okay, it is coming through for somebody. It is coming through for somebody. For others of you, you thought that you could kind of just like leave this behind, not address it. In some cases, ghost it, ditch it, sweep it under the rug. This could have had something to do with an Aries energy with the Magician coming up here. Again, we got a little timing card coming in. Aries takes over that north node position, takes it out of your hands, Taurus, come July. So this will likely come around for you. This balancing will likely come around for you by July if you haven't addressed it sooner. So you might be able to put it off for a while, but I don't think you will be able to ultimately. And in cases here, there is somebody who may have done like some kind of working. Maybe it wasn't their intention, but in some way their working was blocking or infringed on the free will of another, didn't have the right intentions. And so it's like, okay, well, there's a price to pay for that. And so something has to be balanced out. You get the backside of that spell work. I feel like the backside of it, it looks like it could have been something that could have been a blocking energy, an interfering energy, maybe an energy that was holding the intention of driving a wedge between a couple or creating some kind of blockage for somebody that actually looks like caused them a lot of grief, maybe a deep depression. I mean, there's a price for that. It looks like maybe that's why you might be having a hard time actually shaking this energy out of your system. You might feel like it's really clinging to you. You could have let down if you didn't do any workings. For those of you who know people who move like that, this could be a case where you were so vulnerable in this situation that you took on energy from this person that you didn't intend to take on. Some of you may feel that this person like really sexually got courted into you feel like there's almost like this energy attachment that was formed in that way. And I do believe that that can happen. STDs, sexually transmitted demons, are a real thing. People's energy stays with us. And if you know people who work on that level, absolutely. If you already have weak boundary lines with this person, it looks like you've been practicing boundaries. But I see that practicing boundaries for you has been an area of transformation with these butterflies in the background. Maybe you had a little leaky Shakti action going on in the past. Maybe you used to let this energy in. Maybe you also did some kind of tantric work with this person or connected with them on that level. Maybe did a little manifestation work, a little sex magic, this kind of thing. Some people do move like that. It's BroadCoven. We talk about it here, okay? Even if you don't move like that, I think you can relate to that. You can relate to forming a strong energetic attachment, according with somebody that you've been intimate with, okay? But I feel like there's something here that was messy or compromising about the situation. And there's an attachment here. There's an attachment here. And it's continuing to drain somebody. It's like this is like big cut the cord kind of energy here, because somebody is really being drained in this situation. They're being drained by it. I feel like they're in a real serious depression in relation to it. And so there is some kind of cleanup here. I believe that this person is going to come back around in your sphere by July. There will be some kind of cleanup work that has to be done around this. Yeah, and it's because it hasn't been closed properly with the death card in reverse. Okay, this isn't good. This is means that something should have ended and something should have, not been given any more energy a long time ago. And this person can't have closure, and you can't release the energy either, because it's like there's too much courting going on between the two of you, and it's keeping you stuck in this old cycle. It's actually blocking your full manifestation abilities, and it's also keeping your finances at a certain level where you're not really seeing the kind of growth you want to see. That's what happens when our energy starts to be drained by something that we're attached to, that we're corded into. It's If it's something that we were meant to release, then we have no room for any of this stuff that is meant for us to really fully come into our lives. And one of the first places people usually experience that is they get like a nosedive in their vitality. You might be feeling like your energy is really low. You might be feeling like you're more tired than normal. You might be feeling more foggy headed. You might be feeling like just kind of apathetic. You might be dealing with some depression. You also may feel like your health is suffering. You feel like your health's a little out of balance. You just don't have the energy that you used to. You don't have the motivation that you used to. And you might also be seeing your finances take a dip. That's usually the first place that people see it, because when you got another energy ported into you, it really like blocks your creative center. So it's hard for you to generate, you know, that abundant flow in your life. It's hard for you to generate vitality if your creative center is all blocked up. If you got Spadhisthana, your sacral chakra, all blocked up because you got somebody ported into you, somebody you were intimate with that you had like this highly charged connection with, it doesn't look like it was a very healthy connection. I see there's a lot of attachment here, a lot of resistance to releasing. Somebody's very clingy in this situation. I am picking up a big piece of like energy harvester kind of situation. For a lot of you, this is somebody you had a very spiritual connection with, and some of you did take it to that level of like dabbling with the occult arts with this person. Those of you who walk that kind of path, there's something messy here for those of you that do walk the occult paths, and there could be like workings involved. There's some working that didn't go quite right. It didn't go quite right. It did come from the best place. You're either on the recipient end of this, you know, or you're the one who directed it. But somewhere there's some real messy cleanup work around this. But I feel like with that justice coming up the way it did, where you have a debt that you have to pay, there's some piece you have to own here too. Okay. I don't feel like it's all the other person. Look for that to come to a head, that to have to be cleared up. You'll really see it come in by July. I feel like once you address this, once you clear this out of the way, once you have this proper closure, once you cut the cords, once you have a real honest, direct clear out, I think that you'll find that things start to free up for you a lot more. Things move forward a lot more freely. Yeah, I mean, this is a situation where somebody's feeling really unstable. I got that with the anchor in reverse. Somebody here does feel trapped. They feel like somebody's got them in a bind. They feel like somebody's got them by the balls. They feel like somebody has thrown their situation into chaos. You know, this is really feeling uprooted. This is feeling like things are completely out of your control. This is a destabilizing situation. There might be multiple people involved in this situation too. It might be a group of people. It might be a group of people that maybe you feel like you're trying to take a stand against a group of people too that has like kind of turned the tables on you. Maybe you felt like you had a connection with a certain group of people, and all of a sudden, you know, something doesn't feel right in the connections. You feel like you've been ousted, or, you know, in some way you feel like you're having to stand up for yourself, you know, and that somebody else has really disrupted things for you, or made you feel like you just threw off your balance a little bit. I'm picking up instability. That's what comes through. I'm just noticing 29 here, so I don't know if the month of November is significant for you, like if maybe something happened last November, and this is what it's referring to. There could have been some kind of travel connected with this, you know, but somebody feels like they got kind of like looped in by something that looked like, you know, it looked like it was friendly. You know, I'm just noticing the face of the squid here, you know, it's got like a big smile, but you know, here it's got this person in these chopsticks, you know, it's got the anchor pulled up here. And with this in reverse, I mean, this is really destabilized. Like I said, I feel like there's some kind of chaos component in this situation. This is like energy gone wrong, you know. I feel like somebody has like rocked your stability in some way. You may be too attached to this. Like you may be wanting to kind of like hold this person accountable. It's throwing you further out of balance. Remember, there's this piece that came in the beginning about, you know, it's time to like stop trying to force a fit, or stop trying to get people to see things your way. Like you have to accept that everybody has their own take on this situation. It looks like a messy situation, and there's somebody that feels like they're kind of like having to defend themselves, you know, on their own. I picked that up. But it is kind of telling you like the solution is to walk away from the situation with the Six of Spades. Get some space from it. Then when the time is right, the situation comes forward to be addressed of its own accord without causing further damage in your life. You would be best advised to kind of just like chill, you know? If you're feeling kind of cut off right now, if there's people that you're not getting along with right now, if you can't seem to get on the same page, it might be best for you at this time to just sort of like focus on yourself. It doesn't have to be a negative thing, you know? This person looks pretty chill. They look pretty relaxed. In fact, what you may find is as you pull your energy back from this crowd of people, from this situation, you actually start to feel more, you know, more at ease within yourself. You sort of feel a sense of personal satisfaction. You feel more rested. You feel like you're starting to have a little bit more balance come into your life. This may in particular be coming up with a certain group of women. I'm just picking this up. There's all cats here. So there might be a particular group of women that maybe you feel are kind of catty. Maybe you feel like sort of the odd one out, but you're kind of cool being the odd one out. You don't mind that you have to kind of like be on your own, do your own thing. You're kind of tired of trying to sort through like who you can trust, who you can't trust. And again, you know, this brought up the situation with the queen. There might be one woman in particular that you kind of have questions about. Possible it could be a Sagittarius woman. I'm just saying that because of the horse reference here, right? There's something you need to see about this person. You need to get a better view of the situation. I feel like you're not seeing everything. I feel like you are getting like some kind of downloads, some intuitive insights about this situation. Those are coming in from spirit. I also think that if you pay attention and if maybe you stop trying to like work situations out and instead get a little bit of that distance, like pan out a bit, you know, get the whole picture, you're going to see something you weren't seeing before that'll help guide you in this situation. It's coming in with two energy. All right. So that's interesting because I feel like it's somebody that you felt really in alignment with. You might have some doubts about this person. I do kind of want to get a clarification on this to get more information on this person for you, but let me see what else we got here. Yeah, you might feel like this person like was interfering with your happiness in some way. Like you felt like something was totally meant for you. You were counting on this. You were looking forward to this. Maybe you feel like this is somebody who interfered with your happiness or blocked some kind of happiness from coming your way. We do see coming up here, we got the snake card. This is all about temptation. And we do see a couple here, okay? And there is a snake coming down to, you know, give a little taste of knowledge to these two people, you know. And the snake is, again, it's interesting because that piece came in. Maybe you did some kind of like tantric workshops with this person. It could be, you know, somebody that you've worked with on that level before. It's interesting here too, because I'm noticing like the triangle at the bottom. It's giving me that like kind of cult Illuminati like sort of vibes. I think it's all speaking to somebody who's got a very silver tongue. They know how to say all the right things. This person may be very sensual. They may be very seductive. We see the horse energy here again, could be heavy Sagittarius energy involved with the snake coming in with the horse energy. Could be Ophiuchus energy, which is the beginning dates of Sagittarius. I say that because Ophiuchus is known as the snake charmer. That gives you sort of a clue about who this character could be. I think this person has a lot of knowledge. This person may have a lot of metaphysical knowledge, a lot of spiritual knowledge. I think that, you know, there's also like a couple snakes in the grass in this situation. You know, there's a group involved here. And in some way, it's got a little bit of divide and conquer vibes to me. I have to say it. I have to say it. And it might actually be coming from both you and your person's side. Like your person might have somebody, you know, talking in their ear. You might have somebody talking in your ear. And it's sort of like this, I get big divide and conquer. Now you got to pick what side you're on. Either, you know, somebody tried to do this to you in a relationship or you tried to do this in somebody else's relationship, and there was some kind of third party dynamic going on where there was temptation in play. We see that both people in the relationship have been looking other ways, not looking at each other, looking outside of the relationship, checking out the grass on the other side of the fence, okay? And I believe this is in relation to sort of like things that are being seeded, things people are saying that are sort of like causing these people to like question their partner. That's what I got. Question if they're with the right person. They're otherwise distracted, okay? They're not focusing on the relationship. And clearly there's some kind of, I get it's like whispering in ears, like there's some kind of suggestions being dropped on both of these people. And there's something very like, there's very tempting, it's very tempting, but it's also meant to like divide and conquer. That's what I got. There's some kind of key that you need to get access to here, that will be illuminated for you. I feel like you're going to have several different options that you could choose. I think you're going to have opportunities come your way. And I believe that this person is going to come forward. They're going to present one of these opportunities. But it's going to be up to you to really feel out if you want to open up that door, or if you want to explore some other opportunities you have on offer. There are some kind of hidden elements involved in this situation. I think you are going to get some keys in this situation. I think there's pieces of information that you're missing. We see that you have not been able to open up this door of opportunity yet. It's been closed to you. You're not going to be able to open up this door until certain things are illuminated for you. You got to have the right key in order to open up this door. Something is going to come to light for you that you're going to be able to recognize what your true opportunity is. With that 24 energy, that's really giving me, the 6 energy. It's about you're doing some kind of deep healing. I believe that you're doing this healing on a very subconscious level. You're starting to understand some of your patterns, the ways these have influenced your choices, how that's led to certain results in your life. I think you're being very, very mindful about the choices you make at this time, what doors you close, and what doors you open. And so when this opportunity comes around to kind of resolve things with this person, I think you're going to hesitate for a moment. I think you're going to hesitate. I think you're going to think about this very clearly before you even open up this door, because we see the energy's been blocked. Okay. I think you're going to think very seriously about whether or not you should even open up this door to do the healing work. But it is clear that some kind of closure needs to happen here, because the energy is too entangled and it's causing problems. It's causing blockages. All right. I do believe that what will come forward for you, and I feel it'll probably come forward in the month of June for you, is a very clear way forward is going to present itself toward you. I feel like you're going to have some really wonderful opportunity. It's a door of opportunity that, you can step on through this door, but remember there's that message of you can't have all the opportunities. Like certain things have to be let go of, released before you can step through this door. But this door that you want to step forward through that gets presented to you in June and absolutely leads to the new chapter in your life. And this is where the light is for you. This is where you get to move out of the long, dark hallway, trying to find your way through to the path that's meant for you. And you actually have like a guiding light leading you ahead, a path that aligns you with your purpose, but it requires you to really look inside and recognize what paths are not the ones to go down. And that's all going to be informed by the lessons you've learned. Now, what might this relate to? This has to do with somebody that you feel very aligned with, and there's a choice that you need to make here. We got Sagittarius energy. There's something you want to aim your sights for. You want to shoot for the moon. You're hoping you hit that target. I do feel this is somebody you feel is kindred. Look, there's the snake energy coming in with Sagittarius skin. Could be somebody born in the year of Ophiuchus. The year of Ophiuchus. Oh, maybe Ophiuchus feels like it's their year. This is the year I'm going to make it happen. We're finally going to make this happen this year. I don't know. It could be somebody born within those Ophiuchus states. That's November 30th through December 18th is Ophiuchus, okay? So you could be dealing with somebody with this particular sign. They could also be somebody born in the year of the serpent in Chinese astrology. They could be just a straight up Sagittarius, or travel could be connected with this opportunity. Remember, we did bring in the piece about travel, going by water, maybe to drop in on some kind of like healing retreat, work something out. I am seeing palm trees here. This could be Hawaii vibes. We do see there's been some distance between you and this person. I'm also noticing that there's this wolf energy in the distance. That's all about, you're going to need to really listen to your instincts in regard to this situation. I feel like there's some kind of emotional distance that needs to be bridged with this person as well. And there's some kind of transformational healing work that you've done here. But you also feel like this person is somebody you're really connected to. I see that here with the infinity. Okay. So I feel like this is coming forward for you. There's some relationship opportunity coming back around the bend, an opportunity to heal a connection, maybe drop in real deep. Maybe this is connected to travel. Either you're wanting to shoot this shot or somebody's wanting to shoot this shot with you. But there's kind of like a checkered past with this relationship, and there's definitely some healing work that would need to be done here. Either way, with this connection, whether you choose to go forward with it or not, I do feel like there's this piece here where something wasn't closed properly back there. Something didn't go down right. There's something that needs to be addressed. There's something that needs to be healed. There's something that needs to be brought to a proper closure at the very least, and some kind of healing that needs to take place. This is somebody that you felt very connected to, okay? I am picking up July, August energy for this. Something really comes forward in this situation. And again, there might be a Leo factoring into your situation. For some of you, you may have some kind of healing with this person, but it's one of those things where it's like, well, we'll always have a spiritual connection with each other. We'll always have these memories of what we meant to each other, but I'm coming into union with somebody else. That's possible. It's also possible that if you're already in a relationship, you may choose to end that relationship to go and be with this person who's approaching you or who you want to approach, because the energetic draw just keeps pulling you back there. Either way, this is a case of unfinished business. There's karma to be balanced out. Somebody didn't move quite right back there, and something has to be accounted for, okay? Bottom of the deck energy, Eight of Pentacles in reverse. I'm telling you, somebody did, in a lot of cases, somebody did some kind of working in this situation, whether that was manipulative spell work or whether it was just working the situation. You know what I mean? Like manipulating the person, or, spreading gossip, or, somehow maneuvering in the situation where they were trying to finesse the situation or work the person, get some kind of advantage in this situation, especially for that Eight of Pentacles energy to show up in reverse twice, okay, in the shadow twice. Eight of Pentacles, Lesabel, God the teacher, intellectual talent provides knowledge. Okay, see, but it was in reverse. So this is like, yes, an intellectual talent for manipulation and doesn't provide knowledge, keeps things concealed. Maybe somebody was kept in the dark, somebody was kept in a confused space. There's something that needs to be addressed here. I do feel there is like a strong spiritual connection here. Sometimes we can get really connected to people that we have intense spiritual lessons with, all right? So let's just see what advice the angels have for you to support Taurus through this eclipse season. How can Taurus be best supported in this eclipse season to move forward in the most empowering way? I mean, I do see whatever you close out and whatever you move away from, whatever choice you make, there may be some disruption, but what you choose to align with, you're coming into alignment with it. I mean, it feels like home to you. It feels like balance to you. You're starting an empowering cycle. It moves you out of sort of limitation in the area of finances. And I just saw 55 on the clock when I said that. So it creates a big change in your life that frees up a lot of things. Okay. But there's something you have to bring to an end. It's like you can't have it all. It's an either or. You got to drop some other things in order to take this opportunity. That's what I got. Factoring very strongly for July and August months. Okay, we just got your cards came out here. Let's see what you got. Yep, the world, Damavia, God, the source of wisdom, fountain of wisdom, gives success in all ventures. And the world is all about bringing things to completion. It's by bringing something to completion that you are assured success on the other side of that. This is karmic work that you have to do through the cycle. There's something you have to release. There's something you have to close the door on, close the chapter on, before you can gain that key to open your new door of opportunity. Once you do, it leads you to success. I also see you doing a lot of traveling during this period. There is this travel component coming through for you. And then we have Four of Pentacles in reverse. Mizrael, God liberating the oppressed. Self-atonement, cures mental illness, deliverance from persecution. It's in reverse though. You see what I'm saying? Because this hasn't been completed and this hasn't been cleaned up, this is creating a block, and the block will remain in place. It will affect mental health. It will affect the quality of your life. You're going to feel held back. It's going to act as a blockage until this is cleaned up. There is a need for self-atonement, to own your part in this situation. There is a need to right what has been wrong. And doing so provides a new beginning. It heals things, it balances things. You get to move forward and come into alignment with, it looks like, not only a relationship with somebody that is your equal, somebody you really come into that place of union with, but it also looks like it improves your finances. One cut of the deck energy. It's in reverse, Temperance. This very well could deal with the Sagittarius. It's in reverse, okay? Chuhakya, the god of joy, reconciliation, regains the favor of those one has offended, and it's in reverse. So I think you got some cleanup work to do with this person. In some way, it looks like you didn't handle something correctly with this person, or this person didn't handle something correctly with you. But like I said, that justice came in reverse for you at the crossroads. So you got your part to hold in that too. And only you are going to know what that is. But it looks like bite the bullet, man. Do the cleanup work. Do what needs to be done. And I just saw 5808 on the clock. So that let me know the change that you need to make is to, go on this course that is being suggested here, to do this healing work, to close the cycle, so that both can be liberated and can be free from what's keeping them in a place of suffering. Okay. This turns things around. Only you know what that looks like, but it looks like the problem is that somebody's still trying to control the situation, and what the situation is needing is balancing. And there's a choice to be made. And I wish you every success in making the choice that will lead to your greatest peace and fulfillment for all involved.